Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I think the old YouTube was a little bit better than what we have today. Even just 10 years ago, it feels like it was different. And the main reason why I think it was better is because back then it was more oriented towards an individual that creates content on YouTube, or whatever you want to call it, videos, content. But then today it seems like it's not really about the creator itself, but more about the content that they actually make. It seems like the people that want to create on YouTube have to cater into a specific niche, and it's like a very, very specific niche. Otherwise, you're just not gonna, the algorithm is not gonna like you, it seems like. For instance, over the last couple of years, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels that seem to have very good videos, like great actually, but those videos were very specific. Like for instance, for once I found this channel about Need for Speed reviews, and the reviews were interesting, but the guy was trying to also branch out from the Need for Speed niche, and whenever he tried, it obviously didn't really work. Like his viewership would go way down to a point where it almost felt like he didn't even have any recognition on YouTube, which is opposite of what his Need for Speed videos represented, for instance, because they had like hundreds of thousands of views in comparison to other games that he covered on the channel, which ended up having only barely at 2,000 or 3,000 views. Yeah, it's a bit of a trap because, you know, it's great that he found the formula, a formula that makes the algorithm push him, but at the same time there are only so many Need for Speed games, and eventually he's gonna run out, and what's next? And that is the reason why this channel that I'm talking about actually stopped uploading videos. Probably the reason would be that they just lost motivation, that they felt burnt out of doing the same type of content that they are not really that excited about. It's kind of just what the algorithm clicked, but they maybe didn't necessarily enjoy Need for Speed games that much to a point where they would be interested in making content around that game, that franchise, for the rest of eternity. So yeah, they kind of just quit, which is a shame because they had a lot of subscribers already, so it felt like everything was going great, but it was kind of not really there. And that's my main point, that the viewers that were watching those videos were not really there for him. They were there for the Need for Speed, which is kind of weird. Like, I get it at the same time, because I also have this mentality that sometimes I just like to watch a creator specifically for a given topic, or a video game, for instance, you could say. But then on the other hand, when the YouTube was old, like let's say 2015, I felt like back then we were all watching creators for them, for the actual individual. And yeah, it was about the content too, but I don't know, there was something more personal that I liked about YouTube back then. Because nowadays it seems sort of like TV, pretty much. I don't really feel connected to a lot of the channels out there, which kind of, I don't know, rubs me the wrong way, because I would like to feel connected. That's what made this website so great from the start. But because YouTube today itself promotes only the content that it finds interesting, it's not even that people are not necessarily interested, it's just that YouTube itself is not promoting a video that's even slightly different from what the creator usually makes. So therefore you're never even gonna see it on your homepage, which sucks a lot. Because I'm sure that the person that made those Need for Speed reviews probably was very creative and had a lot of great ideas for other things, but you know, if you're doing something and you're putting a lot of work into it and then you're not seeing the results that you would hope for, then yeah, it's kind of demotivating, really. Because you know that you could make another Need for Speed video, for instance, and it would get a lot more recognition from YouTube. Because like I said, it's not really about the people. I think the people would possibly click on a video anyway and watch it if they actually like the creator. But if YouTube itself is not going to promote a video that's slightly different, then yeah, what can really a creator do then? Someone who makes videos. It's kind of a rough spot to be in, really. I'm just not really pleased with the idea of a specific channel being only about a specific topic, specific niche, specific video game. It's all like incredibly specific for a video to do well for a certain YouTuber. And maybe some YouTubers are fine with that fact. Like, I know there's a channel that's focused on the video game called Postal 2, and they only really make videos about that. And I've seen that this channel was also trying to do some different games from time to time, but yeah, like the difference in views is quite big when you compare his Postal 2 material. Kind of sucks, because you just have to stick to this one niche forever, it seems like. It sucks because the people that make those videos are probably very creative and have lots of different ideas, but at the same time, they got up to a point where YouTube is probably their job, or at least their part-time job. So therefore, risking the creativity with a different topic, different niche, is probably not even really worth it. Because if it is your job and you're gonna create a video that's gonna be low in views, then yeah, you're probably just failing at your job. So yeah, taking that risk is probably very bad for you if you are in that position. And I don't really know what the proper solution to all of this would be. Maybe it's just the way things are now and you kind of have to adapt or leave. But yeah, it kind of sucks because YouTube was all about, connecting with each other, feeling connected to one individual person or a group of people if they were running a YouTube channel together. But now it seems like everything is just so over the top that it's just, I don't know, doesn't seem as pleasant anymore, to me at least. Sometimes I'll watch a video that just has so many edits that I'm like all over the place. I don't even know what I'm really watching. It's like way too fast paced. Damn. It's crazy that this is what the algorithm is pushing towards people. Because maybe there's nothing really wrong with it, but I would like to see more diversity. And it seems like every video and every topic, every niche is using the same style, like being super fast with the intros and edits, camera angles and everything. And it's just, I know that that's what sells, so of course people are gonna do that because that's what YouTube pushes out the most. Of course you want to do that if you want to be successful at YouTube. But at the same time, damn, it's like everything is almost the same. It seems like some channels are just copycats of each other because it's like a cookie cutter formula to make it on YouTube, I suppose. And yeah, it's just kind of, I feel like it kills creativity. I feel like people probably have some amazing ideas for videos, but they're just scared or afraid of trying to do them because it might just not work out for them at all. And like I said, there's nothing really wrong with the types of videos that I just described. I'm sure they take a lot of work for sure. It's not an easy thing to create such a video, but it just sucks that it feels like it's all the same. Especially the videos that have, the biggest amounts of views. That's the ones that are like hyper, overly edited, super exciting and fast-paced. But I feel like it would be way nicer if actual diversity and creativity was rewarded on YouTube a little bit more. But I wonder if YouTube even cares about that. Sometimes to me it's not even about whether the video is super well made. Sometimes it's just about the person. You kind of just connect with the person that you're watching and you don't really care if it has a lot of edits or if it has something super meaningful. You're just down to watch whatever it will be because you kind of just like the person that you're watching and that's it. You don't really need much else. But it seems like that idea is kind of going away because like I said, now it's more about the specific channel and not about the specific person. And maybe it is actually better for the business overall. Maybe it's easier for people to make money on the internet, on YouTube now, in comparison to before, just 10 years later. It probably is easier now, but something had to have been lost in favor of it being easier now. And I guess that something was just a connection that we used to have for people that were making videos that we don't really seem like we have now. Maybe in the future it will change again. Maybe it has to come to a point where another decade will go by and maybe things will kind of revert to something else. Or maybe it will be like entirely different and the whole meta for making it big on YouTube will be totally different. Then who knows? But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. There's nothing really wrong with it or bad. Just the way it is. Kind of wanted to say my piece. I think it was a little bit better when YouTube was old. But yeah, that's not to say that it's super terrible now. It's still alright and you can find some great channels. It's just that it's way different in a way that I don't really like it that much.